Welcome back to Survival Shenanigans, and first thing you might notice is that I look a little bit different. I decided to change my skin to better fit the Jello part of my name, but what's this? SoCal Productions was here. Well, I know how to get back at you for this one very sign. But before we get into that, here's a farm that I said I would complete between episodes. It doesn't actually look too bad. You can see it has all four of the regular crops. There's all of the rubber banding, I guess. But there's melons, pumpkins, and probably more sugarcane than I'm ever gonna need. Especially if I plan to get into villager zombification versus just accepting prices for what they are. But yeah, now to address this sign. SoCal has a build. It's right off that way. And yeah, I have a plan to get back at him with the power of copper golems. There it is. That's the build right there. Yeah, my plan is to take each of these fences and maybe another idea that I just got. Well, let me say my first idea. Is to take each one of these fences and replace it with a copper golem, sort of in the jumping jack pose. I don't know what exactly to call it. The X. We'll just call it the X. But each one of them replace each one of these fences. But it looks like a lot of fences. This bridge has 54 fences to be exact. And while it is possible, my second idea is to basically put copper golems down, walk as if they're walking the path. You know, like right side, of course, but some copper golems, dot them around on the build. Yeah, and with that, you need to go back and make some copper golems. So I have 47 copper blocks in here. That's 23. I think 20 golems. 20 might be plenty of golems because the bridge isn't that long. Even then, if I think it's a little too many, I can just axe off the copper golems. So I need one more pumpkin. I need my shears, and I just need to dig 3-block tall pit. Where can I put it? I guess here could work. Oh yeah, I also did some enchanting, as you may have seen. Completely missed that part, but hey, whatever. Oh hey, look, some copper. Alright. In goes the copper. In goes the pumpkins. Oh yeah, they're gonna be drawn down there anyway. That's gonna get loud fast. Unrelated note, if you're on the server, does anyone need stack 16 melon or pumpkin seeds? Yeah, I guess let these guys just oxidize for a bit and get back. I think this is gonna take a while. I harvested everything except the sugarcane. I also brought up the cows that I have over there. You can see cows picking their heads. And not a single one of these guys is green yet. Yeah, I think this is gonna take a while. Alright, so I just checked the wiki, and it said two things. First, it's gonna take over 24 hours for a copper golem to completely oxidize. Yeah, I don't have that time. But thankfully, the wiki also said that it uses game time, meaning I can just go around, do whatever, the chunk doesn't have to be loaded, then I can come back and, oh, they're all oxidized. But the second thing it said is that they won't turn into statues on non-solid blocks. And this includes chests. So I did some testing of my own, because a chest is close enough to a block. And yeah, they won't turn into statues on chests. So I have to go, and I just have to mine all of these chests. Yeah, this is gonna be very fun. Alright, so now with that all taken care of, we can finally do what I've been planning to do this whole time and get to the Nether. I haven't actually seen the Nether at all yet, so, well, I've seen screenshots from other members, but that doesn't count. I haven't seen the Nether for myself at all quite yet. So let's take some of this obsidian. That should be plenty. I do have flint. Let's grab an iron ingot. And actually, do I have one first? No. And craft up a flint and steel. And where do I want to build this port? I was actually thinking here, maybe like a block or two out, putting a 3x3, but that really wouldn't work. And it would probably be very loud in my base, which I really don't want. But I actually think in here might not be a bad idea. Where this here is a 3x3, and then it's just obsidian surrounding it. It would still be pretty loud in my base, but at this point, you know what? That's just a thing with every... Why are there so many super close-ups? Anyway, that's just a thing to do with every Nether portal. Yeah, I can't really control that one. Alright. It's time. Actually, let me just empty my inventory first. Because I have quite a few things in my inventory. Well, the dirt, I don't care about the dirt. I don't know, all that can go in there. I don't have space for the wheat. That's my old hat. Protection 2 golden hat. That I actually got from the mob farm. So I'm going to throw that on beforehand. The sign can go in my wood 2 chest. Can I condense anything in here? No, because... No, you can't. Actually, hang on, I have bundles, don't I? Yeah, I have an empty bundle. Sapling bundle. Hey, I can actually fit stuff in there now. Alright, I'm gonna go to sleep before I do the honors. Alright, and now it's finally time. Yeah, there's nothing else to do right now, really, I guess. So 3, 2, 1. Alright. In we go. Oh god. Okay, that's huge. That's huge. So, this time, no, but eventually I do plan on building a gold farm. But having a waste that close is, like, really good. Alright, I want to make sure that I don't lose my coordinates, so quick screenshot, and good. Actually, having soul sand too is kind of big, because with the soul sand, I don't know why I always go into F5 like that, but with all this soul sand I can do bubble columns instead of doing slow water columns or mumbo jumbo drop evaders. This will be a good spot for bones. And I do actually want some quartz, so I'm going to pick some of that up. $51, that should be enough quartz, right? Yeah, I think that's enough quartz. I see cobblestone. Alright, I'm going to make my way over to the cobblestone, see if it's a portal or a pillar. No. Oh. So someone had a bartering set up here. Nice, nice. So here is 0, 0. Alright, that'll be important later. I am gonna go home. I'm gonna just kind of explain what all I'm doing. I knew my horse went through the portal. I knew it. Okay, so quick story here. I went to Jay's base. I forget what exactly for. I think it might have been more enchanting. But anyway, I went to Jay's base. I just left my horse in the open, and it went through the portal. I don't even know how that happened. It just went through the portal. It didn't want the overworld anymore. Alright, with that said, I'm going to use this portal just to ensure that my horse gets it back safe. What is it getting back? To make sure my horse gets back safely. And it'll take a bit longer. Alright, it'll take a bit longer, but that I don't mind at all. Alright, so what do I actually want to accomplish with the Nether? Is it building some kind of farm? Is it establishing a Nether hub? Well, actually, it's both of those things, but first I want to establish a Nether hub. More specifically, one that's on the Nether roof. But in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to get to the roof. You know, you can't build a Nether hub on the Nether roof without actually getting to the Nether roof. It's quite a simple principle. But, I have no ender pearls. We can even look in here. I have no ender pearls. I didn't misplace them. I just don't have ender pearls. Now I am actually going to barter for these ender pearls, so I'm going to spend this gold that I have here. Almost 2 entire stacks of gold. Difference of 5 actually. So there we go. 118 gold. And hopefully that'll get me enough ender pearls for me to get onto the roof. But also, hopefully it will get me a bunch of soul speed. Alright, so after over 2 stacks of gold, I finally have them. some ender pearls. So why do I want these ender pearls? Well, to get onto the nether roof. So I want to get onto the nether roof because I want to not only build the nether hub, but also build a bunch of farms, you know, typical me fashion. Nothing but farming, because, you know, Minecraft farms are pretty cool, if I'm gonna be honest. Or they can be. Or they can be as simple as just putting 3 villagers on platforms and just endlessly scaring them. But, yeah. So that's why I need these ender pearls. Alright, now I'm geared and ready to go into the nether with a bunch of gear that I don't actually mind losing. The reason I'm doing this is because of all the lava that can be found in the nether. So I just get into the nether, and my entire portal has been surrounded by a wall, which is nice, but it's gonna be just completely useless in like a day or two. But anyway, it is pretty nice. It is pretty nice. And that day or two is from recording. That's my gold hat. I am no longer in gold. Anyway, I need to make it to 0, 0, which is this way. Wait a minute, I need to bring obsidian with me. I'll be back. I forgot the one actual thing that I needed. Well, 2 with the fire charge, and I'm just gonna wear this gold hat because I can just easily replace this hat. But now this time I'm actually gonna go and build that pillar. I need ladders too. Why am I so bad at this? I've done this before. And the ender pearls, can't forget the ender pearls. Alright, now that I'm here with everything that I need, it's time to just build. Now you may be wondering why I have the cobblestone in my offhand rather than what I typically do is put food in my offhand, and that's because if I find any lava, then I can just easily build all the way up. And I could just easily build. So I say that was lava there, I could just easily look a little bit and then just immediately place the block. Is that bedrock already? I guess that's bedrock already. F3. Targeted block bedrock, yeah. Alright. Is that that's 126. There's one at 127. Here we go. Alright. Uh-oh. I lost it. I'm gonna have to cheat a little bit with this free cam. Okay, yes, it is indeed the block that I am standing on. Alright, is that right? Yes, that is. Alright, -4, -4 there. And here we go. So hope this just takes me right up to the surface. It better. Yes, but also no. It's the middle of the night. Alright, please reconnect. Yes! Yes! Alright, I'm gonna go get some actual gear now. Alright, so now that I'm back in all of my regular gear, it's time to blow up Bedrock. but I'm a little low on food. I'm gonna want to deal with that first. Alright, now that I've gathered all the food, it's time to break Bedrock. And this is the design that I'm using. I'm gonna link it below so that if you want to build this one for yourself, you absolutely can. It's not mine, by the way. It's not mine. I did make one modification to it though, and that's I added this trapdoor so you don't have to worry about getting perfect alignment with this trapdoor. But the way it works, and I did test this with full base diamond armor, I will survive, but what you do is you flip this trapdoor, flip the lever, flip the trapdoor, and just place... Uh-oh. No! No. Oh no. Oh no, I brought... Okay, I brought my flint and steel with me. Good. Oh, I got scared for a second, but I'm dumb, but not that dumb. Alright, well, rebuild it. It would actually help if I use my auto-clicker this time. Where did my lever go? Did the lever die? Did the lever just... The lever died. Also, why do I hear a ghast? I'm this high... Yeah, the lever, it just, like, died. So did the trapdoors. Okay, I'm gonna have to go grab more of those. Oh boy. No, I'm just gonna grab a bunch of sticks, a bunch of planks, and bring a crafting table. Alright, perfect. I'm back with the crafting table, so now I can actually, get my trapdoors back. And I can get my lever back, because the lever is actually quite useful. Let's see how many more tries this takes. I hope not all 7. I am actually going to turn on my auto clicker this time, because it would help if I had it on. Alright. It's facing downward again. Alright, I'll just be back once the bedrock is broken through. Wait. Hold on. Yes! Yes! We did it! We did it. We broke bedrock now to remove the remains of this bedrock breaker. Perfect. Break the crafting table, light the portal, and then bring my portal up to the nether roof. Alright, so behind me you can see the portal is linked up to the nether roof. And it is actually my portal, I can show you. And yeah, it's my portal. I'm facing the wrong way. There we go. Yeah, now that my portal is linked, we can finally get to the juice of the video. The sauce, even. The magma farm. So, the magma farm, I'll explain more about the magma farm once I get it. Once I get the magma farm actually built. Like, I can show you around in free cam, show you a little bit of how it works, and then, yeah, go from there. But the first thing, just like with any good magma farm, is locating a basalt delta. So, I'll locate a basalt delta, and then I'll be back once the delta is located. Alright, so here I am. I found the basalt delta. It's quite far away, as you can see in the coordinates in the top left, but that's fine. Also, as soon as I found the basalt delta, I got a bit carried away, and yeah, I mapped out the farm here. It's pretty decent size, actually. And then I also gathered all the materials for the... Don't break that. I also gathered all the materials for the farm here. This isn't a tutorial whatsoever. I'm just showing the materials, because why not? Yeah, so I have all the materials. I have a crafting table in case I need it. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to do other than now just build the farm itself. So with that being said, it is now time-lapse time. Alright, so that was the entire construction of the farm. I'm up here in the AFK spot. I was AFK for a little bit, but now I'm going to show you around the farm really quick. So the way that the farm works is actually quite simple. As you can see, the magma cubes spawn on this cobblestone platform up here. They see the golem, and then they want to go after the golem. However, in combination with the low ceiling and the pit that's here, they fall into the pit of powdered snow, which actually kills off all of the magma cubes. And then down below here, you can see a hopper minecart collects all of the magma cream. If you do decide to build this design, first off, I will post a tutorial sometime, but second off, you may see, and we might see it happen soon, but you may see some magma cubes get attacked by the golem. If they are killed at the golem, like you saw right there. One of the magma cubes got hit. But if they do die due to the golem, then it is entirely fine, since this farm is meant to collect magma cream. Eventually I do plan on adding frogs down here at the bottom, but for now I think just leaving it where it is fine. Also, like you can see with this magma cube, sometimes they will fall out of the farm. If you are up at the AFK platform, that is entirely fine. Within a matter of minutes, the magma cubes will despawn, meaning that the cap stays empty enough that more magma cubes can spawn in the farm, and then the farm can work as intended. Now, since I am half dead, I am not gonna fight this guy. I'm just gonna lure him away and then run back to the chest. Alright, so now that I'm back at the chest, all of my stuff is in the chest. I put it all in the chest just to make sure I didn't lose it while AFK if, say, I forgot a block and then a ghast spawned. But after the short amount of time that I've been AFK, I have not actually seen the results from this farm. So, I mean, I guess just peek inside of the chest. Okay, that's actually a pretty good amount. Each of these stacks is 16 blocks. And why is that important? Well, I'm going to be using this magma farm to build a gold farm to cure villagers. That is my entire plan and the reason behind why I built this farm. But yeah, now that I've built this farm, shown it around, and shown a little bit of the rates, there's actually still one more thing that I need to do. I mean, first off, get all my gear, and second off, get some food. But I mean more something from the start of the video. Now that I have no food, this is going to be a pretty long walk. It was already a pretty long time with sprint jumping. As soon as I can, I am absolutely going to set up either a soul path or an ice boat highway. So while I have the food cooking up there, the thing that I wanted to do from way in the start has to do with these copper golems. Now, one of them has fully oxidized, and it looks to me pretty quickly also turned into a statue, which is nice. That means that the rest of these guys shouldn't take too much longer. But I just have to wait for these guys. There's nothing else I can do. Alright, so all of these copper golems have now oxidized, and you may see they're all facing one direction. I changed them. I was bored, and I think it was, I was on a call with a friend at that time on Discord, so I didn't just want to cut off a call because, like, oh, all of these copper golems oxidized, so I just changed them to face all one direction. I was bored. Okay? Alright, good. Now that that's out of the way, all the copper golems have oxidized, so I'm just gonna quick mine them all up, and then fill the patch in with dirt. I'll see you down at SoCal's base. Alright, so here I am on the bridge. I think it's time to cause some chaos. Well, not exactly chaos, just placing down some copper golems. Anyway, that's still not W. There's been quite a lot of progress since we were last here from SoCal. See, base is a little more connected, there's a bit more. So I think instead of the whole like summoning circle idea, I think just kind of putting some golems walking along these bridges would be pretty alright. So I'm gonna not do that fast. I'm gonna do yeah, I'm gonna do it in the specially edited way. Alright, so I just placed this last copper golem, and let me show you around real quick. So, this copper golem here is like walking back up from the mines, and then this one back here is walking down into the mines. And then I have some... What the heck? That was just one of the rubber bands of all time. That was fun. Anyways, yeah, up at the top of the staircase here is the golem that's walking down toward the staircase. And then here, I really like this one. You have the one that just came back up from down in the mines, and he's like up from the bubble column. You can still get out of the bubble column, trust me, I accidentally fell in. But it's just a neat little touch that he's floating there as if he's up from the soul sand bubble column. Then this one's down, going to get into the mines, and that is a very long fall. I hope you survive, little buddy. This one's another one that I really like. He's excited that he got a good enchantment, like, say, Silk Touch or Fortune 3 or something like that. I don't think you can get that from here. But just as an example. Yeah, so this one's excited about getting a good enchantment. And then these guys are just kind of walking along the paths. These two, I really like these two, because it's like these two are best buds. You know, they're just sitting on the water. Maybe they're doing some fishing. Then doing like laughing, carrying on, having fun. And then, yeah, a bunch of golems just walking the paths around here. I got a couple up here going to and from the villager trading, well, breeder. Because, yeah, up there, that's the villager breeder. There's still a villager in here, by the way. I don't think he's ever going to escape. But yeah, over here is a villager breeder that SoCal set up. I have a couple of golems going to and from. And then up here on the main bridge, there's a few. And yeah, I really think these golems add quite a bit of liveliness, and I had fun placing these, okay? Like, I was smiling placing these down. This is the kind of dumb fun in Minecraft that I like. Like, just absolute stupid, not destruction, just a bunch of just stupid copper golems being placed around. Now, the golems aren't stupid, but you know what I mean. Like, just putting a bunch of golems down and just having fun messing around with friends. Now, that doesn't mean in order to quote-unquote have fun, you have to, like, destroy each other's builds or kill each other all the time. No, it can be just dumb stuff like this. And that's what I love when playing with friends, is just doing dumb stuff. Like, not moving around resources or anything, not, like, blowing up each other's bases, not lagging resources into each other's chests. Like, just having dumb, pure, stupid fun. But yeah, that's just about gonna do it with all these copper golems placed down. I'm gonna be farming some magma between episodes, and while I try to get around these golems, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya! This is the single best thing I have done on this server to date.